such a beautiful piece by Reinecke, and it's called At Twilight. And the German word is Abendlandschaft, which is evening landscape. And there's a poem that appears with this piece, which I'd like to read to you from the English translation. How the lights of evening glimmer, friendly and mild at heaven's door. How the golden rays do shimmer, lightly now through reed and moor. So these images of glimmering and shimmering, and in the German it's schwimmen and glimmen, are very important for the character of this piece, which we find in these eighth notes. So I'd like to point out this beautiful chart, which you can get yourself by downloading it from sallychristianmusic.com. And with this chart, there's another bonus that's included with your chart, which we will get to in a little bit. We have on page 1, we have 2 systems, and page 2 we have 3 systems. Notice that in the opening system, we've got the melodic line in the treble clef, the right hand, and we have our accompanying, all of the glimmer and the shimmer and the schwimmen with these rippling eighth notes. Listen to how they sound. In and of itself, that's so beautiful. Let's continue with the next line. And then looking at page 2, before we switch to my satellite view, we have the glimmering, shimmering now in the right hand. So Reinecke has actually inverted the parts, so the melodic line is in the left hand. And so on. And then we go back. Here is our recapitulation, which is exactly the same material as this. Note for note identical, and this is our wrap-up. I did a little analysis for myself on this one. This is a wonderful piece for the teachers out here, and the students too, for ear training. What does a sixth sound like? How does it change to an octave and then expand further into a tenth? And this is a built-in study for ear training and interval identification. So this is what I like to do, is to take the right hand and the left hand top notes, and it makes a beautiful duet. Just let me play this as a duet. Absolutely parallel with sixths. Then the next phrase, tenth, octave, sixth, tenth, and a sixth, and a sixth. Next line. Interesting turns. And look, we end our first section on C, which is the 5th of our home key, F major. All right, so this is your working copy. This is absolutely an extraordinary tool for you. I'm ecstatically happy about this. I call these the satellite views, and this is the entire piece put on the vertical page format. And what is so remarkable about this piece is the fact that we have absolutely equal distribution of measures for the entire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems of the piece. You can see it on your working copy, but you can see more clearly here the essential feature. And that is that this piece in 4/4 time begins on the upbeat. It begins on the 3rd beat. So if I were to point and count, I'd have 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2. Next phrase, take a breath. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2. Can you imagine that this entire piece is built on that pattern? Breath, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, why is that important? It's very important because downbeats are always weighted more. In 4/4 time, it is strong, weak, medium, weak. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even at a very early level, I would call this early intermediate, maybe intermediate, our artistry is being shaped. We don't ever want to play anything mechanically or insensitively. From the very beginning, we want to teach our students to be breathing and shaping the phrases. Now let's just take a more thorough look at this satellite view, which you do get with your chart. And I like to look at these outer columns as sentinels, as tall Greek pillars supporting the entire architecture of this piece. Every one begin and end with a half measure. Half measures, half measures, half measures, and half measures. Now I've taken the liberty with these charts and how I have engraved them to use open-ended ends of systems. There's no bar line there. There's no bar line here. There's no bar line here. Because this is actually a complete measure. A complete measure. And here, the end and the beginning, a complete measure. So I think this is an incredible help to understand. I like to play the piece from this copy right here. I can actually see it like this. I've just supported it on a piece of cardboard. And then you can notice that the second system, starting right here, needs special attention, as well as the last system, which I will play now. We've never had that before. That combination of intervals is so exquisite. So practice every one of these separately, practice them out of order, and be able to start at any one of these, and you will have a perfect tape in your brain. There's a quote by Aristotle that I love. It says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." So get in good practice habits, and it will stand you well in everything you do in life. We are our habits, and perfect practice is a habit. Happy practicing! Thank you so much.